I am so sorry, your girl. Gotta talk to you in the dark. I am a hot mess. Ready to go to bed. Before I go to bed, I had to con- finish cleansing my mind and don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, y'all. Just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I said tonight, I'm just going to say it. Here's the bombshell. Here is the bombshell. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here because I ain't gonna be on here but so long. Hey Queen E, how are you, love? Sorry you gotta see me in the dark tonight. Cause I got my scarf on my head and I'm not fixed up for the camera. So when I'm not fixed up for the camera and I'm laying in my bed, I like to, you know, talk in the dark. Well, anyway, from yesterday's audio, whatever, and I just was like thinking, I was like, you know, as much as I would love for R. Kelly to call somebody and talk to them about what's going on with him right now, especially in his legal situation and about his civil rights being violated. And also, hey, lovable Leo, hey, good to see you here tonight. Yes. So as much as I want to see this man, you know, get his liberty, and also he has a lot of things that were done to him that was illegally. From what I heard from in that audio, that altered audio, and that he would like to clear up some things, and also to verify some people that he feel have been true supporters behind him that he know and want to give us a confirmation of these people. Why didn't he call their platforms? Did anybody ever thought about that? Like Levi been saying for the last 4 years, yes, prayers to Mr. Kelly. I was like, wait a minute. First the call came in, okay, because what's her name spoke with, of course, Sharon Wimbush, and she's very, you know, a person that can really influence people to really believe that her and Robert Sylvester Kelly have a really good relationship with each other. They had a great employer employee relationship. And then she flip flops. She after his trials and everything that took place with his trial after he lost the first trial in New York. The first thing Sharon went on an attack with was his attorney, Canick. And I said, why would she do that if all the attorneys she attacked was Canick because he was supposed to have been placed as the lead attorney in the New York trial because Nicole Becker and Steve was supposed to have been having some. It was a difficult situation going on between those two. From what I understood, it wasn't working with them two. Who was going to be the lead attorney? Yep. Who was going to be the lead attorney in that fight in New York? So as things are starting to come back to me in my head, I remember when she went on this attack and said all these horrible things about Canick and how unprofessional he was and how he was doing lazy work in the courthouse. But she didn't attack Nicole and she didn't attack Thomas or any of the other attorneys, but she went on this attack with Canick. Okay. Now, moving on, because I don't want to be too long on this. Then the Chicago trial. Okay, she went on this attack on Jennifer Bonjean. Yep, the black man, exactly. She went on this attack on Canick first, and then she goes on this attack with Jennifer Bonjean when Jennifer Bonjean at least got Robert Sylvester Kelly off like 7 counts of not guilty, but he was found guilty on 6 counts in the verdict. So then she goes on this attack about Nicole and Nicole's assistant. What is her name again? Oh my God, her name is on the tip of my tongue. Ashley. She goes on this attack about Ashley and Nicole taking selfies and how unprofessional they were and blase that, right? So after she did all of that, she's telling her Robert Sylvester Kelly's that she spoke with Robert. Robert wrote her, Robert told her this, Robert told her that, blah 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 blah. You know, but she was his so-called working with him legally with his attorneys and all this other stuff she put out here in the public and on YouTube on to her subscribers and the R. Kelly supporters that support her channel, which I don't. I don't support her channel at all. But anyway, so moving on. After she don't went on that attack, now even though I heard the first phone call when it came on to Natasha, um, Natasha Simona channel, and of course Natasha did it very professionally to make it more convincing and believable, or whatever. That her executive producer she introduced, who is her executive producer, Rick Party. Now Rick Party does have a great reputation in Chicago. He's been in radio communication for over 30 something years, and I did some look up to see if I could find some stuff on Rick Party or whatever, but he was introduced by Ed Lover to come and host on a radio show in Chicago, right, to bring the party on because he's known as great music. He's great. His voice is very, oh my God, he got a great voice and everything else like that. So he's been in the business 30 so plus years. So Rick Party was the one who got the call from Robert Sylvester Kelly at the federal prison, MCC, down in Chicago. And he spoke with him on whatever the conversation they had about Tasha K, the BOPs, the rumors about the baby. What he's supposed to have, Joy's supposed to have had a baby, and this baby photo was, all over the internet. That Robert and Joy had this baby, so Robert had to come and clear some things up about the baby. And even though Robert didn't really have to do that because that was already cleared up by his attorney Jennifer Bonjean when she was in conference after his before his trial and after his trial. She did come and speak on that about Joycelyn at the time when she was supposed to have been expecting. But Jennifer Bonjean is this she expected is not a baby with Robert. She already made that clear. So people was like, when is your client is going to speak to the public? She said, well, he will speak. He will speak, but he does have some trust issues right now or whatever. So I was believing that, of course, Natasha Simona and, of course, her executive producer, which is Rick Party, did get this phone call and did want to, and Robert did speak to him because Robert did know him. Of course, if Robert been in the business of music, and this is R. Kelly, his music is played a lot in Chicago, and he got a lot of great amount of fans in Chicago because he's from Chicago. So of course he would probably, it would be believable that he would reach out to a party, somebody known in the radio out there to talk to and do it and to give that to his fans or whatever. And I thought that was great until here comes this somebody throw a dagger in it that just threw things off to me because Storm, I never heard of him. Maybe some of you might have heard of him, but I never followed him. I don't know too many bloggers like that around this R. Kelly sector thing, like new upcoming bloggers or whatever. I didn't know nothing about Natasha Simona either. But Natasha Simona said she made it clear to us, no, I'm not here to sway anybody or do anything like that. I just came to, let y'all hear that Robert did make a phone call. He called, spoke with Rick, and what she said. She didn't say anything about anybody else. She just said that was what she said. And on her own part, she did an interview. She did. I did speak with Sharon, and she don't know anything about what's really going on. Excuse me, about R. Kelly. Since only thing she might know is that the singer was on trial and was found guilty in New York and was sentenced 30 years And then he was also on trial in Chicago, and he wasn't sentenced yet, but that should be coming up in this year in February, I believe. He's supposed to be going for hearing and sentencing or whatever it's supposed to be. And then also that is also he's working on getting an appeal in his trial in New York or whatever. So he has a lot of legal battles still ahead of him. I don't know what happened to the trial he was supposed to have been on with the state cases he had in Chicago, in Minnesota, and another some kind of trial in state whatever in Chicago. I don't know what happened to those trials. They just disappeared for some reason, or maybe they just sitting right now in pending. Okay, you know how that is. They try to throw it at you at off guards or whatever like that. But moving on to what I'm saying here about this bombshell. So when the storm guy came on, and first it was Sharon being confirmed that yes, she knew Robert Sylvester Kelly. She worked as his nutritionist, but nothing was mentioned about a strategist or anything. And then when they asked the question about her being a cuckoo bird or whatever like that, and I noticed that this conversation came of these questions about Sharon is why when Natasha Simona asked her a certain question about are you doing this for money sharing or whatever because people want to know, that's when Sharon was on her platform. With Sharon, we all know don't never show who she really is, never saw her face. We don't know really who's the person behind the scene or whatever. Maybe she did get a chance to see who that is Sharon, but Sharon maybe before they did the interview, I don't know. Okay, but for long as she's been supposed to have been a supporter for Robert Sylvester Kelly and talking for Robert Sylvester Kelly, going on these radio shows and dealing with all of these high sophisticated people that she's supposed to be have worked for, and doing her thing on health, eating healthy and eating raw and all this other stuff. So she in her nutritional business that she's supposed to have, that she does. I don't know what that woman does. The only videos I see is old videos. I don't see nothing recently of her ever showing herself to the camera. I never seen anything recently. The same old picture she had up there from God knows whatever. Okay, and I'm sure she don't look the same. None of us are gonna still look the same. Okay, if you go back in some of my old videos, you see that Casey McDaniel, when I first came out, I was a whole lot smaller. And all of a sudden now I don't gained a few pounds, my age, numbers went up and everything else, hormones are changing, whatever. Cause I'm not a young chick, and everything I eat now, my metabolism slowed down and things are just gonna take its course in nature. So I know what she looked like 25 years ago, she don't look like, or 30 something years ago, she don't look the same. Okay. And that's probably the reason why she's not showing us up, leaving all that eating raw and all that other stuff. She probably a little oversized. Um, some body sculptures and, surgeries and stuff like that. I don't know. Some people, you got the money to do all of that, then hey, so whatever. Then I'm going on to say this, that or after we questioned her, after Natasha questioned her, here comes this phone call from Robert to confirm that he knows her and that she worked as his nutritionist. Like I said, he did not mention anything about a strategist or she's doing some legal work with my attorneys right now, and none of that stuff was there. Or me and Robert had I did have a conversation. He says no, I haven't talked to her lately because I have to save my minutes and my calls for to deal with talking to my attorneys and also to talk to, whatever calls I might have. I have to call Joy, whatever he said, if I go back and listen to that audio. But I was like, yeah, this is a believable conversation. This is a believable conversation. This is Robert Sylvester Kelly. I was really, really feeling that type of way until this Storm character came to say that no, this audio was stolen from him. Then the confusion started, and I said, okay, something ain't right about this. That's when I started feeling something ain't right about this. Something ain't fitting too well with this. So then after that had happened, um, now all of a sudden, like I posted earlier about the merchandise being sold, the Bowski gun. He put out there that he needs some, help, and he needs people to look out for him or whatever. His birthday's coming up or whatever like that, and he's asking people to support him And whatever his financial situation might be, I don't know what it is. We all going through some hard shit right now, and we kind of like in a recession almost. And I'm just gonna keep it real. We almost in a recession. The economy is really, really bad right now. I don't know where you live at, what prices are like in the grocery stores, and how much food is costing today, and how bills are going up, and people paychecks are really, really scarce, and people trying to get a little extra money, doing little extra things on the side or whatever. But in Dabowski case, like I said, I don't really know like what he's really dealing with or whatever. So Dabowski also opened up some merch and trying to sell some merch, and he's trying to do like what they call it again, because somebody help me out in the chat. He's putting like things out there like souvenirs, things you could buy like R. Kelly shirts, maybe hoodies and socks and things like that, which I don't think is anything wrong with it. So, especially after all the work he put in this, this fight, and put aside all the craziness, because I didn't come in this fight for Dabowski anyway. I really came in this fight for Robert Sylvester Kelly. But when I see somebody trying to do something for a good cause, and I've seen people that really, really put their heart into it, and they really took a lot of shots out in the public, and they went out in the public even in the thick of all of this was going on, and they put their life at risk, and they put themselves at risk or whatever. They took everything they had, and they went out there to fight and to bring awareness and to talk about how this man was being treated unfairly, and his constitutional rights being violated. And this man was bringing some legal stuff to the front line. He was really educating the public about stuff that was really taking place. So I had to overlook my personal feelings about all other bullshit that Dabowski might have done and say, look, this man got hard. Okay? He really did what he had to do to bring awareness to the public about the injustice that was being served to Mr. Kelly. And this fight, we came in this fight as for Mr. Kelly, and we got to put our personal feelings aside for somebody that has done a good thing, and has done a good something in good honor for Robert Sylvester Kelly. I'm not going to think about how he may have attacked me or said this and that about me or did treated me. You know, I don't pay no attention to Dabowski. I let it go. I said what I had to say back then, and like I did with DJ Tyson. Whatever happened, happened back then. But then you got to look at the good they have done, and in doing what they did for Robert Sylvester Kelly, exposing the enemies, exposing the people that's claimed they know Robert Sylvester Kelly, that they are friends of Robert, all this crazy stuff. So then every time it's like, when it's something for Robert and somebody out trying to do something right for Robert, it's always the same two people that's always knocking it and not giving it any credit, and always attacking and calling and Sylvester Kelly, the real fighters and the real riders for Robert Sylvester Kelly, terrorists and terrorist followers or whatever. And I said, this man has never, and I'm talking about Levi, he has never, ever, ever said, you know what? We got to get out there and we got to do something. I'm going to take the lead. Y'all tell me to meet y'all here. This is where it's going to take place. We got to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to be the speaker. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to get some other speakers out there. I'm going to do this for my in the sake on the sake of my brother and how he's being treated. Bruce and Carrie even came out and did their thing for their brother. Where was Levi? Why hasn't Levi ever had Bruce or Carrie, or on, at least Sharon had Bruce on hers? And I believe, I don't know, she had a conversation with Carrie or whatever, but at least I could say Sharon has done that part. I have never seen a phone call from Bruce in a conversation with Levi. If he rocked that close with Robert and Robert called him family, brother, cousin, whatever. First he lied and said that, of course, he was his cousin on his father's side. Oh, first he said something about the mother side. Somewhere along the line he lied from the beginning. And then he tells another lie and say he's a cousin on the father side. And then when Bruce came out and spoke about it on Choke No Jokes channel, and that's when it became exposed that he's a liar. He is a liar. And I don't trust liars. And I'm going to say this, and then he could call me whatever names he want to call me, but it doesn't matter to me because I know what I'm speaking here is facts and it's truth. If R. Kelly wanted to confirm you was his cousin and he called you a friend and a cousin, why hasn't R. Kelly called your platform? Why he had to say, all right, let me call Storm's platform. And this is how I knew it was a scam and it was a bunch of BS going on with these people, with this altered. And I'm going to talk to you about the altered video or whatever that is supposed to be circulating out here on the internet and on these YouTube streets. The thing is that if this is so like a close friend to R. Kelly or a close brother or whatever, and your brother or your close friend has a platform, and you really wanted to give the people the like say, hey, this is my brother. He is doing good stuff out there for me. I'm talking about him and Sharon both. Why didn't and they both got platforms? Why didn't Sharon held this interview with R. Kelly on her platform? She always telling people she called him and she talked with him. Why um Levi didn't hold the interview with R. Kelly on his platform because of the injustice being served to him and talk about this Tasha K stuff in this BOP because you know what's going on out here. R. Kelly don't know what's going on out here because R. Kelly is not probably can't even be near the internet or anything right now, especially while he's trying to fight up against these cases he have. He's doing everything he can, probably researching and looking up legal work and paperwork and going over things with his attorney, talking to his attorneys all the time. They working on his appeal or whatever cases he have pending right now or something like that. So he don't really got time to be getting caught up in nonsense to keep his head clear and keep himself out of danger. And the thing is that if these calls were so real that R. Kelly really claimed that these people are really close to him and really are good friends of his that he know, I truly believe the phone call should have been made on their platforms, not to another blogger, so that it wouldn't have been any confusion. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody want to talk to me in the chat? Do you really truly understand what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying to you? This is bullshit. Now, R. Kelly voice can be a makeover. People can get a voice makeover from a person. Like, for instance, I remember when this R. Kelly thing first happened with the surviving R. Kelly. And people were doing memes, people were doing all kind of things um, to go viral. And I wish if I can ever find this one um, video. It was a video, but it was done with a voiceover of R. Kelly, and the person was saying, and they sounded just like R. Kelly about the surviving R. Kelly thing was just a game. Everybody was in it as a game and all this other stuff. This was R. Kelly, somebody doing a makeover of R. Kelly's voice. So actually, people with technology and everything can make a person's voice sound as if they are the person. And the only way I'm truly going to believe that both videos and the audios that were played on both channels was really R. Kelly, because since this person had to make this phone call to Storm's channel and not Natasha's channel, because if he's calling two channels, why is he calling two channels? And that's right there confusing to me. Why would he be doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like calling Storm's channel and calling Rick Party's channel. And I will believe more of it being Rick's channel before I could leave Storm Channel, because this man, first of all, has never done any works for R. Kelly in the name of R. Kelly for his injustice and the fight against it or whatever. And I never even heard of this Storm person until these so-called audios came out. He might have been on YouTube for a long time, but I just never know about him until this audio came out. And then all of a sudden, here come this Storm guy popping out of nowhere. I never heard of Natasha either, but Natasha made it very clear that she doesn't really do YouTube. She's also on Instagram, and she does with Rick Party. That's her executive producer of her channel, whatever, on what she was sharing with us, and she gave us the background and everything of when she made the introduction. But this Storm guy just came out of nowhere. Said he was on vacation. He's been working on this stuff for a long time. He's been asking for inter and why would R. Kelly even call Storm when he's in some stuff with a blogger as it is? A blogger like Tasha K, a gossip queen, a slanderous woman, a wicked ass Jezebel, whatever you want to call her, somebody that actually took his information, his personal prisoner files and everything before when he got arrested, like 4 days right after he'd been arrested and stuff, and put all that slander over the internet, put all that gossip and everything, and put his file out there. Like they really made it to the point where he could not get a fair trial, point blank, period, because none of that stuff was supposed to be released until the trial. But it was put out in the public before it even got to his trial. And that really prejudiced the minds of potential jurors of what she did. And she don't feel that was illegal, and don't feel that was a like doing something as a crime in an American justice system. It was. Okay? How they assassinated him. And he's trying to fight for his reputation out here. He's fighting for his constitutional right. It's just a whole lot of stuff that these people did. And for Kelly to be sitting up here calling the terrorists, Levi is calling Dabowski and also this other one, DJ Tyson, these terrorists. He's the most terrorist on YouTube. That's all he ever. He never talks about really about R. Kelly's illegal situation. He talks more about Dabowski gun and what I'm sorry, DJ Tyson is doing. That he's more focused on them than he is on his own cousin. And then if you want to pull up criminal files, why he ain't been pulling up files on Angelo Clary and Larry, the enemies of R. Kelly's? Why he hasn't pulled up their files, their criminal files, and write letters to whoever the government is, or whoever to the FBI or whatever, to do an investigation on them. But he's doing all of this stuff to pull up all DJ Tyson and Dabowski stuff. The men that's out there on the streets fighting for Robert Sylvester Kelly that ain't even friends of his, and the men that don't even know him but other than his music, but he up here attacking them more than he attacking the enemies that put his cousin or brother or friend on the cross. Make it make sense. And then all of a sudden, like I said, this phone call comes that it's R. Kelly calling Storm, but not Levi, calling Storm to confirm that Levi is somebody he knows, and he calls him like my cousin. Make it make sense, y'all. Following that demon over there. He's a demon. Only people that are walking in pure blindness is following this fool. Unless they getting some cut from it all. Of the money they done stole from their members in OCAV. And somebody had the audacity to post something about give them a call about if you got some kind of whatever for a job. I will never give myself my information like that to anybody on social media. Social security numbers and all my information. Hell to the heck no. Especially somebody over there in Locav. Not even here on the R. Kelly side. And like I said, I don't really rock with nobody, but I just call out what is not to me making sense. And I just call out people's BS. And I will guide you through it spiritually. I will let you read it in the text for yourself and what you're going to get out of it. Because that's what I got out of it from reading it. And I'm just sharing with you what I've witnessed and what I saw. And reading it from the word and what the word is telling me. I'm not coming from myself. I'm coming from the word of God. And what he pours into my spirit. When I'm saying I'm in prayer for this man, Robert Sylvester Kelly. Even the things he cannot see. Let me, Lord, open my eyes so I can see it for him. Because I already see his situation of being in a vulnerable, bad situation right now. And could be so in desperate need of help that even Satan himself will come like a angel to him. And he won't even see it. Because that's how Satan presents himself. That's why he got kicked out of heaven, because he was the one trying to take over God's kingdom. Come like an angel. And he wants to show up on your in the time when you at your most weakest moment of your life. So I already know that. And I'm just putting it out there for you to know too. That Levi for Kelly is not in the best interest for R. Kelly. He's nowhere near. He don't want to see that man see another day of light. And I'm telling you this. I get those vibes from him. Because of the things he be doing out here. And especially the way he be going so much after DJ Tyson and Dabowski. And at least we know DJ Tyson and Dabowski are hard. And they from the streets. And they never was deceitful about it. They was all upfront with they be who they are, with who they are. They didn't deceive any of their followers or supporters. Didn't deceive me anyway. And I got cussed out by both of them. Oh yeah. Because they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? They don't know me. I don't know them either. And that's okay. Long as they know I don't mean no harm to them, but if that's the way they feel, because that's the kind of people they used to dealing with. That's the kind of life they used to dealing with people, the folks that been around them. And they probably been some good people, and people did a lot of dirt to them. So that's their defense mechanism. That's the way they build themselves up hard to protect themselves. And I understand. But they don't go out here viciously just doing things to R. Kelly. And I'm just speaking on R. Kelly because I'm seeing the fact that the things that they put themselves out to do on the sake of R. Kelly, because they have felt like they know about that life. They know that this is not a place where R. Kelly really needs to be. And they know that he was not treated right. And this could be anybody, any black man in America. It can happen to any of us. They didn't care about those women. They used those women. They really did. And then this Kasha K with this, I'm still trying to get this thing if she was really sexually abused as a child. She just said what they wanted her to say so that she could win favor of fans and people to support her for her actions. But I don't believe that's true. And especially claiming it was a family member that done it. Family member probably never exist. Never exist. We don't know if her father had a brother that was the man that was supposed to had did little things to her when she was a child. We don't even know if this stuff is made up in her damn head. People just come out here and sell you any kind of thing and people just go with it. Really just go with it, because that's why you can't tell it to everybody if it did happen. For real, for real. Only people that's supposed to know is between you, God, and whoever. And some things is just not meant for everybody to hear. It's truly not. You know, some people just don't want to think about it. Some people just want to just go on with their life and act like it never happened. That's why they said, well, you can't be silent about it. Some things you got to be silent about. And I'm just going to keep it a buck. Some things you want to be silent about because you don't want people to come back and use it against you somewhere along the line in your life to hurt you. And that's just the way it is. That's the world. That's how it is. But anyway, I got to get in my bed, y'all. I got to get up tomorrow. I got school tomorrow and everything. But I just needed to come clear some things up. Not really clear nothing up, but to really like point out some things to you, so you don't get caught up in the foolishness of following everything on YouTube, believing everything you hear on YouTube. Some things you just got to go a little deeper with your sources. You have to like go into like, why would R. Kelly call Storm and Rick Party for to confirm people as his relatives or his friends? Why wouldn't he just, knowing that these people do have their own platforms here on YouTube, he could just make that phone call directly to them? Makes you wonder, right? And they say they've been in touch with him and they've been in contact with him, right? So that's what came to my mind tonight, and I just wanted to share it here tonight with you all. And I also want to say welcome to my channel to all those new subscribers I received. Thank you so much. I'm not here to take you in no mislead you in any kind of way around this R. Kelly thing. And I promise you that. Only thing I can do is lead you to the word of God so you can read it for yourself and also get what you can get from it. And that's it. I'm not here to misinform anybody about anything. I'm just here to do what I came to do, and that's to fight against the injustice being done to R. Kelly, and also pray for him. And the things he cannot see, I gotta see it for him. Because I truly don't believe that these two people claiming that they are his so-called closest friends and really here to support him and family members or whatever are really got him at their best interest. I really don't, because I've seen them do too many shady things and a lot of crazy stuff around his support, and especially attacking his supporters, his fans. Anyway, I gotta go. So you all be blessed. Have a good night. And if God's willing, I may or may not be back here with you again tomorrow. Depends on what comes up. Take care. Peace.